servers. So I have an administrative server and a student server. And all of them see what's going on. Okay. So I can log in.
Hey, that can make radio right there. I wrote it.
About me, my name is Janet Contreras, and I'm running for Congress, and it came about in a very unusual way. I wrote a letter to Congress because I was very angry with the representation we were getting, and I didn't feel that Washington was addressing the citizens' views. I felt that they were kind of serving their own interests, and that made me angry because we're the people, and we have needs and we have demands, and we were being ignored. And so as a result of that, since I didn't seem to get anywhere with them, I decided that I would run myself for Congress and try to get those citizen views represented in Washington. And I just want everyone to know that you don't have to be a doctor or a lawyer or an Indian chief. If you're a citizen that wants to be involved in government, you should involve yourself in government. Your government is there to protect your rights. That is the purpose of government. Government's not there to control us. Government's not there to rule over us. We live in a constitutional republic, and I'm sure you've learned some of this, which means that we have laws and we have rules, and we have representatives in Washington that are supposed to protect our rights within those rules and those laws. So just know that that anyone can read the Constitution. It's not a difficult document to read, and that Constitution was designed to protect you from government, not to have government rule over you. So now I'll take your questions.
So how did you become interested in your job, like what are you doing?
Well, I'm actually an IT manager. That's my real job. That's what I was doing. I worked in the information technology department, and I had technicians that worked under me, and I ran the servers and I trained employees on software. That's where my life was, and it was a pretty good life. I was pretty happy with everything but my government. So once I realized that citizens have to step up. Our legislature in Washington was comprised of farmers and merchants and preachers. This was how it was designed. They were just people. They were property owners that had interests, and we need to come back to that, to a citizen legislature. So that's what dragged me into this, because it was never an ambition of mine.
Smile for the camera, Trayvon.
That's a huge part of the budget. I know when I was campaigning here, it was such a big part of my life. I hope that I'll be a legislator at some point, but heaven forbid I'm ever a politician, because I don't think it's something any of us want any more of.
Well, you as a candidate, what are your opinions on SB 1070?
SB 1070, I feel, became necessary because our federal government refused to secure our border. When they voted to defund the fence and stop the continued security at that border, they put Arizona in a very bad position of having to enforce the interior laws. And when that happened, if they would have continued to secure the border, I don't think SB 1070 would have ever even been necessary. But as a result of them defunding the fence and refusing to secure the border and protect us from invasion, because we don't know who's coming over that border. We know some of who's coming over that border, and Homeland Security reports that many of them have ties to terrorist organizations like Hezbollah. And until we decide that we are going to be a sovereign nation with secure borders, we will have to enforce the interior laws.